Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We know it is a little hard to get excited about things on Zoom these days, so tonight we thought we'd do something a little bit different, and we plan to keep it short and sweet as promised. Our program tonight should last about 45 minutes, so make yourselves comfortable and enjoy. Tonight we recognize 4 sets of outstanding and gracious honorees: Matt Darnell and Kathleen Kiernan, Wells Fargo, Jim Shipp, and Sal and Richie DeRico. Each has made significant contributions of their time, talent, and treasure to advance our mission. Tonight, instead of the traditional format of award presentations and acceptance speeches, our honorees have agreed to help us tell the Lifting Up Westchester story of how together we all make a difference in our community. However, their impressive accomplishments are highlighted in our online journal, which you should be able to access on our main event page. And rest assured, actual awards were hand-delivered to each of them earlier today. Thank you to each of them for all they do for lifting up Westchester and our broader community, and for their participation in tonight's event. I also want to express our gratitude to our sponsors. Your support means the world to us and is a huge part of making an evening like this a success. Thank you to our board for your leadership and commitment and steadfast belief in our work and mission. Thank you to our community council, who serve as vital ambassadors and advisors as we try to increase our reach. Thank you to our Gala committee. You did an amazing job cultivating support for this event and getting so many fabulous people to show up tonight. And thank you to all the LUW employees who do the really hard work every day, even throughout a global pandemic, of standing shoulder to shoulder with our clients to help them rebuild their lives. Special thanks to our new Chief Development Officer, Laura Candela-Katz, and her team for putting together this extraordinary event. You will get a chance to meet Lauren shortly. Finally, a deep, heartfelt thank you to all our supporters who believe that our community is so much stronger when everyone's well-being is strengthened. I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate your generosity and kindness. We literally can't fulfill our mission without you.
The first thing I would want to say to our donors is thank you. Without you, there would be no Lifting Up Westchester. We wouldn't be able to fulfill our mission and be there to help those in need. What I'd like to say to our honorees is thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for being part of this organization. Without your work, without your passion, we wouldn't be here. So thank you for being part of us, and all our supporters and all our volunteers. We're a family. Without you, we would not be functioning. We wouldn't be doing the things we can do.
2, 1.
Tonight we celebrate hope, courage, and community. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we need your help to reach our goal. The silent auction is open and will close at 8:30 this evening, so be sure to get your bids in early and often. Click the View Items tab to browse, bid, and buy. We all share a common vision for a stronger community, and it starts with helping everyone have access to the resources we all need to thrive. Tonight, with the help of our honorees, clients, and staff, we are telling you the story of how together we lift one another up. My vision is to try to find new ways to support clients so that we don't just solve their temporary issue, but the trajectory of their life has changed for the better. Many of us don't know people who have become homeless, and so we tend to think of the homeless as the other. Those who experience homelessness tend to be those who have more financial challenges, and it is also true that if you are a low-wage earner, you are more prone to having a single crisis send you into homelessness.
What I've learned about homelessness and hunger is that you can't make assumptions. The only assumption you can make is that these are your fellow men and women.
We help those in the community that are struggling to reach at least a basic level of well-being, which is important for the well-being of the entire community.
A safe, decent, sanitary home for every American is a right, not a privilege. It has to be a conscious effort that we're taking care of all of the residents in Western County, not just some of the residents. You really can't have a well-run community without people at all levels. The handymen, the roofers, people in the service industry. All of those folks have to be part of the community. There should be a concerted effort that we're providing housing for those people that provide those services to us at the low wage level.
It's just fundamental to our existence. It's not a privilege, it's a right. We're seeing families double up in 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms just so that they can meet basic needs for their children. We need to look at our communities from the lens of a gardener. They need to be nourished, pulling together on resources like Lifting Up Westchester so we could figure out not just to fertilize the soil, but how do we give it water and then tend it to make our communities grow.
And it's not often that I have an experience with a program like Lifting Up Westchester that is as broad as it is. All the way from housing to food to employment to mentoring, college scholarships to camps for kids to job training.
Organizations like Lifting Up Westchester end up becoming the linchpin and in many cases the lifesaver and the oxygen for forgotten communities and forgotten populations.
Many of our homeless were products of the foster care system. Very heart-wrenching.
As a child, inconsistency affects how they develop and grow, and it just makes everything else harder if you're trying to build on a base that's kind of unstable, where you don't know where you're going to be the next day.
It's important for children to constantly be learning and growing. Like, they're at a point in their life where every moment matters a lot more in terms of education and training of your brain. And if you waste all of your mental resources worrying about where your food is or where your housing is, you don't have the chance to learn at the same pace as other children. And then you end up with kids whose then their kids are a part of the system because they never get the chance to stop and improve their lives because they're constantly fighting for basic needs.
Whether it's the children we work with, the homeless, helping us make sure people have adequate food can be the most rewarding thing that you do. You can make a difference.
People need to have a sense of hope, that people understand them and what brought them to the place they are and what their challenges and obstacles and where their confidence may have been lost. They need to have a sense that they're not in it alone.
When folks get connected to what we do, don't think about it as balancing the scales. Think about it as your involvement is that you want to tip the scale.
Planting and sustaining a garden is a great way to think about how everyone needs the right nourishment in our community to grow and thrive. Tonight, you can tip that scale to make a big difference in restoring well-being to the men, women, and children who are struggling, and you can make our community stronger. Our goal is to raise at least, and hopefully more, than $300,000 by the end of the evening. And I just know you can do it. For new donors in 2020 and 21, and donors who have given in 2019 and prior years, we have an amazing donor who will match your gift up to $50,000. Whether you donate through our silent auction by 8:30 tonight, or our giving tree, or right now, every dollar is wisely spent to lift people out of poverty. Just click on the donate button below or text 76278 and type in give, space, and the amount you wish to donate. Your generosity supports services for people experiencing homelessness, like $10,000 operates our soup kitchen and outreach services for 2.5 weeks, or $5,000 sends 10 kids to summer camp for 4 weeks. $2,500 helps people with the week of employment assistance, and $1,000, well, that's tutors for children for 1 week in all our after-school mentoring programs. Giving has a remarkable capacity to make people feel good. And tonight, we want you to feel great. So thank you so much, Lola Hunter, for your $100. Despina for your $3,500. Sarah for your $75. Every penny makes a big difference. Every amount goes as far as possible to express your vision of a better community for everyone. And Matt Darnell and Kathleen Kiernan embody this vision with their heart and soul, and we couldn't be more proud to honor them tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We are humbled to be honored by Lifting Up Westchester.
We love making a difference in the lives of our neighbors in crisis, and we hope you will too.
Imagine what the experience of becoming homeless is like. It's almost always preceded by traumas. The mere fact of becoming homeless is in and of itself a mental health stress and creates trauma.
The initial things that we funded here were the summer camp for homeless youth. Learning more of what goes on and the important services, you realize that there's sort of needs at all age ranges, and Lifting Up Westchester very much targets the neediest people.
When we started thinking about having kids, our first thought was doing adoption. It seemed like the best way to do that was through the foster care system.
1 in 4 foster children that age out of the program will be homeless. People are excited to help 3-year-olds, but it's harder to know what to do to help a 15-year-old and a 25-year-old. And we have switched to no longer just designating, and you realize that there's still a need for homeless services.
It's been very emotional for all of us to see people in pain, to hear people's stories. The community doesn't seem to be aware of what's at stake.
I never thought I would be in this situation, not in a million years. I have a college degree, I've always worked, I've always been able to pay my rent. I was working in restaurants, and then COVID hit, and I went through like all of my life savings. It made me feel stressed out, and just like, it made me feel really hopeless for a while. I was with Samaritan House for like 3 months. They were always supportive. You were fed, you always knew we were safe, and they were very helpful with like finding where you needed to go. I don't know what I would have done without them.
I'm a former stagehand. I actually lost 2 jobs because of COVID. Lifting Up Westchester staff is amazing. What these guys do, the first thing they do is they tell you what you need to do to get out of here. They push you to further your life, to progress, to go forward with your life and do better and be better. I've gotten so much help from these guys that I'm ready to get out of here within the next month and start my life over again. My plan is to get out of here and never come back.
The impact of COVID on working class families, on families who have now lost their places and lost their homes, have entered this new realm of working class homelessness through the pandemic. It has only magnified this challenge. You see communities get split apart, neighborhoods change, which means now you're pulling out the roots under families' feet.
When I first took this position, I must tell you, a few times I was like, I can't do this. It's one thing you hear about it, but until you actually see individuals just spiral, we try to give as much encouragement that eventually builds them up to want to get out of that hole that they feel like they can't get out of.
We also have a very substantial soup kitchen. The staff there are responsible for getting to know them and their life stories, to assist them with services they could benefit from.
Every day I see families coming. I see husbands getting food for wives. I see mothers getting food for their children. I see lots of seniors coming.
It's hard to be well if you're hungry. It's one of the basic needs. It consumes you. That's what you're spending all your energy on.
If you're focused on basic needs like hunger or housing, you don't get to focus on the things that we hope that everyone works on together in society, which is how to uplift the entire community, which is why some level of safety net to ensure that everybody has access to housing and food is important.
If people are left hungry, homeless, the average wellness of the community would go down. We're a community means we're all together. We're all one group. You should respect and should help all your neighbors.
Congratulations to Matt and Kathleen and all of our honorees for exemplifying the best of people in our community. The pandemic has taught many of us what it feels like to be isolated. physically separated from friends and family, and with many barriers to our ability to engage meaningfully with each other. For individuals experiencing homelessness, however, this isolation is not new. They have lost everything that once identified them as who they are: their home, their neighborhood, their community, and usually have to leave behind their family photos, keepsakes, and other treasured belongings. And the barriers to reestablishing those human connections are overwhelming. And yet we know that without human connection and support, we cannot survive, let alone thrive. This is what philanthropy is all about: human kindness toward one another. Like a lot of nonprofits, Lifting Up Westchester, because of funding constraints and because there's so much need, relies heavily on private donations to fund unmet needs. Please keep sending in those donations, and don't forget, many of you are eligible for the generous matching challenge gift from an anonymous donor. I'd now like to acknowledge some of the gifts that are coming in. We have from Milagros Lacuna, $50, Carol and Renee Mathis, $7,500, Martin LLP, $3,500. It's unbelievable, they're just pouring in. John and Deborah Morrison, one of our board members and his wife, $5,000. Cassie and Carlos Munoz, $4,000. Thank you guys so much. Please keep it coming. And we want to just remind you that the silent auction is closing at 8:30. Be sure to get your beds in. And now we'll circle back to our program. So we were talking about human kindness, and we are excited to honor Wells Fargo because they reflect the kind of commitment and philanthropy that the Lifting Up Westchester community not only needs, but believes is essential to supporting our clients.
It's an honor to be able to accept this award on behalf of Wells Fargo because of all of what Lifting Up Westchester does and how it aligns to the mission of Wells Fargo. It is amazing to have so many people celebrating the work of Lifting Up Westchester this evening. Housing affordability has been one of Wells Fargo's community giving priorities, and as the storytelling journey continues, you will see why.
Most people who leave our shelters, they do need some short-term transitional assistance. We have a housing team that helps people find affordable housing within their budget and helps them navigate whatever obstacles there may be, issues with the landlord or unexpected utility bills or need to find a medical provider or get transportation so that they are successful in their new housing and don't return to shelter.
When I think about what having a home means, it's really about the building block. It's so important to the development of an individual, their family, everybody having equal opportunity to be able to get in some type of home is the American dream. And that's why Lifting Up Westchester is so important to those who don't have that building block.
Home means to me, for anyone, especially our clients, it's your place of refuge to recharge yourself, trying to digest the day you might have gone through, whether good or bad, and be able to regroup and get rest, replenish, start a new day, and be able to conquer that day, feeling optimistic and encouraged about the future.
A lot of them, their state of mind is they're depressed. They really put themselves down because they've been beaten down so much that they don't think they could do anything positive. They need to know they're safe. They can have someone to talk to that won't judge them or criticize them. They need to know no matter what, you will stand by them and help them succeed. We don't turn people away. So my job is to let them know that they can. This is just a stepping stone back to life.
I have a bachelor's in liberal arts and I have a master's in public administration. I had relapsed after 19 and a half years of being clean. I was someone that was well known in the community. I was one that took care of everybody but myself. I've worked as a case manager for over 20 years, and there was many times that I have reached out to Denise to help other people. And this time the phone call was to help me. I'm not at the Samaritan House anymore, and I'm really, really doing well. It felt so good to have keys. It felt so good to cook my own meal. I'm doing this with enthusiasm, with my head high, a smile on my face. I have no shame anymore. This has been a humbling place for me in these last few months.
Housing for everyone is very important to Wells Fargo overall. It's one of our main 3 pillars of our organization to be able to help anybody in the neighborhood to be able to have some type of affordable housing. And I look at a community like Westchester and say, how can you have homelessness? But when you look at the numbers that Lifting Up Westchester supports, about 3,500 individuals on an annual basis, it's mind-boggling to see that that's happening right in front of us, right next to us.
Congratulations again to Wells Fargo. Housing is one of our most impactful programs because without stable housing, all other aspects of our clients' well-being are at risk. When we invest in making sure their transition to stable housing is successful, so many possibilities and opportunities open up for them. For most, after this important transitional period, they are able to live independently and successfully reintegrate into society. Some have more significant needs, and in those cases, Lifting Up Westchester plays an ongoing role in helping them maintain their housing. We function like a surrogate family, helping them through whatever may be facing them in life, including checking in on them on their holidays and birthdays, helping them reunite with family members, or assisting them with transportation or medical issues so they remain in their home. 95% of those we place in permanent housing have remained in those homes for more than 5 years. This really proves that with the right support, anybody can permanently escape the trauma of homelessness. I want to thank our donors for having the foresight to appreciate that while offering people shelter is a critical part of what we do, it is even more vital to quickly move people from shelter and get them back on their feet. The longer they stay in a shelter, the harder it gets for them to leave, and the more difficult it is for us to help them, and more resources are needed. That is why your help tonight is more important than ever. It is all about the human development of our community, and there is no one better to make this important connection than our next honoree, Jim Shipp.
I've been involved in community economic development for a large portion of my adult life, and I am thrilled Lifting Up Westchester has agreed to honor me for the work that I've done in the past and hopefully the contributions I can make in the future. The work that we all do to restore a person's independence is vital to get that person to become a contributing member of our community. I know that Lifting Up Westchester will make a major contribution in the Westchester community. I know the value that Lifting Up Westchester brings to the community, and I'm excited to be part of the organization.
Restoring Independence is a new accumulation of programs, making sure we have all the puzzle pieces we need to give our clients the tools they need to change the trajectory of their lives.
The whole notion of human development, being part of community development, is very real. Giving people opportunities, building confidence, helping them to become self-sufficient and sustainable, productive members of our community. How do we make certain that everyone is contributing? Then you're talking about confidence and job skills, understanding how you live safely in the community. It depends on us caring about one another.
I engage the clients by helping them find ways that they can build their foundation when it comes to gainful employment and achieving their independence. Investing in skills training, exploring educational opportunities.
The notion that Lifting Up Westchester is only working with those people who can't take care of themselves is a mistake, because anyone can find themselves a client of Lifting Up Westchester at any time. An accident, the loss of a job, a health problem, you can easily become a person with life challenges that are greater than you can deal with yourself.
They come to us and feel that it's their last stop. We don't want them to feel that way. We know that each of them are capable of attaining a better tomorrow and a brighter future. A lot of them just needed that support we give them that enables them to again build their confidence. One of the individuals came to us to seek assistance. He's someone that is energized to be successful, just didn't know exactly what he could do to make that happen.
I did some time in my past and I came home and I wanted to get on the right track. I'm a single parent. I was working in a hotel and through the pandemic, they laid me off. I'd like to thank Mr. Charles because he gave me support as a regular human being. He did really care about where I was going. Miss Barbara, she gave me the benefit of the doubt for about 10 months now. I'm the maintenance man for Open Arms, Lifting Up Westchester. By working here, it gave me a different outlook on how certain situations with people go through in life. I realized everybody's not on drugs. Some just hit a rough patch in life. The first interaction I had with an individual, I was cleaning the bathroom and I was like, so you could use the lower level bathroom because I'm working in here right now. And he came off a little rambunctious that I had to take 10 steps back and had to analyze the situation. He's homeless, he's stressing about his family, and he's stressing about where he's going in life. And it made me realize, how would you react if you was in that predicament? And just open your eyes to be thankful for what you got. And it just made me realize, whatever I'm going through is all the time somebody going through it 10 times worse than you. If you're fortunate to help somebody else, you're saving somebody else's life. And you're saving a lot of people's life. If this last year didn't teach us all, don't take nothing for granted.
When it comes to working with employers, there's really no difference with those individuals that are in a shelter or those that never experience the shelter. We target companies with living wages, with benefits, with long-term opportunities for growth. We are looking to help in the fight against long-term homelessness. We cannot do it alone, though. We rely on the contributions and the amazing partnerships of employers and individuals that have common aspiration to lift individuals up to brighter futures.
Congratulations to Jim. Once our clients are stably housed, our Restoring Independence programs focus on helping clients solidify all the other foundations of well-being. Despite the pandemic, Charles has been extraordinarily successful in finding employment for our clients and building relationships with employers. He found jobs for 65 clients in 2020, despite the economic challenges of the pandemic. Through our life skills classes and ongoing support from employment coaches, our clients are holding on to their jobs and in some cases even advancing in their careers. Our focus in health and wellness is also a critical piece of ensuring our clients maintain an improved quality of life. Everyone knows that health is a major obstacle to so many Americans, even those living their best life. It causes financial challenges, mental health challenges, and of course, physical challenges. We are trying to make sure our clients are connected to the healthcare resources they need, but also to build their knowledge and skills about things like nutrition, medical screenings, understanding chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, and the need to exercise. We believe these Restoring Independence programs are game changers as they protect the progress our clients have made so they never experience homelessness again. You took a leap of faith when you funded this pilot program just 2 years ago. At the time, we called it Pathways to Self-Sufficiency. And we are thrilled that the results have been so successful. Now we ask for your continued support to allow us to maintain and expand the program in the areas where it has proven most effective, particularly in employment services. Your investment now pays huge returns for everyone's future. By now, all of the silent auction winners should have been notified. Congratulations. I hope everyone will still consider making a donation this evening through our giving tree or by texting to donate. Our final honorees this evening have huge hearts, and we are thrilled to recognize and honor them. Richie, while we missed having you in the video, we know you are with us in spirit.
When I think of lifting up Westchester, I'm a people person. I think of the staff and all the people that I've encountered. They were angels. They were really wonderful. I wish them all the best of health and luck and just keep doing what they're doing because it's an amazing, amazing organization. Ensuring all children have the same opportunities we give our own children is an important cause, and we're happy to support. It was a no-brainer, and we are honored to be given the opportunity to continue to support Lifting Up Westchester and to be recognized.
Our Next Generational Opportunities programs are focused on youth, and we have about 450 kids that participate in those programs from kindergarten to college.
Emotionally and academically, they've been really affected with constant changes. Students that are homeless or doubled up in different apartments lag because there's lack of private space for them to focus. Every child is bright. It's just a matter of tapping into it and opening up doors for them to believe and for them to put in the work to succeed.
Our program, I named the tower because we're building a foundation. We are building every part of these kids. We try to show the kids exactly what that future looks like, what's gonna keep them in college.
We've had lots of students enter college. When things get difficult, we help them adjust their classes. We've seen kids graduate, succeed. Some of them have moved on to be a lawyer, police officers, dialysis technicians. But the difference is they come back and they give what they received to the other students. They don't move on and say goodbye, lifting up Westchester. They move on and say hello. How can I help you?
They're not exposed to a lot of the stuff that students from more affluent neighborhoods or more affluent schools, what they're exposed to. They don't know how to dream or how to have big dreams. They've gotten beaten up for such a long time and taken advantage of where they don't know and they don't understand. You don't have to settle.
I come from Venezuela. At the beginning, I didn't know anything about lifting up Westchester. I just feel alone. I meet Mi Señori, and she was helping me understanding the English and the math at the same time. Also, I got the support for Mr. Ricard to go to extra help and talk about my experience becoming like a new student from another country. They helped me build that confidence and trust that everything that I do, it is for a good reason. They can help you if you have any personal family problems, understand you if you're afraid to speak either English or Spanish. Nobody's going to judge you or laugh at you. Just be there for you and help you. You feel like part of something. You don't feel at the side.
I'm from El Salvador. When I came here, I didn't know anything about English. Ms. Garcia helped me with learning English and Spanish at the same time. With Lifting Up Westchester, you can create a new family beside your family that you have already. Everything that the staff gave it to me, it made me the person who I am right now. I know that I can give it to other people. When we were a kid, you were, okay, I want to be a police, I want to be a doctor. And now you know a little bit of the real life. Lifting Up Westchester helped me think about my talent, and my dream career is to become an architecture. I'm thankful with Lifting Up Westchester. I know I can do more.
What we always try to do is give them the same experiences that we would want for our children. The kids came to me and they're like, Miss, we want to do something fun in the school. The students had never been to a carnival. They had never experienced that. And so that makes you think, what else have these students never done?
There was all little tables set up and the kids were playing and they were all interacting and they were winning little prizes. I grew up in the Bronx. You really see poverty and you see homelessness. Then we move up to Westchester, we're in Scarsdale. We have this beautiful store with very affluent people coming in. And then all of a sudden to see that, it really caught me off guard. I didn't think that there was as much of it here.
I pose certain questions and students just say, I just want to make sure I have enough food to eat, that my family has enough food to eat.
It's very emotional, but inside that difficulty, there's a lot of beauty that comes out of it.
To not have a safe, stable home, a place to go to sleep and have a good night's sleep and a family around and a meal, it would affect their ability in society. If you're worrying about your meal, you're concentrating so much on that, that's got to affect everything. That's heartbreaking. What's at stake is the future. I don't believe that the county can flourish with a big portion of it not doing so well.
When you hear that outpouring of caring for people that really have very little direct contact or relationship to these young people's lives, you just have a lot of hope for what we can do as a community. And if every adult had a little bit of that in them, we wouldn't have this problem in Westchester.
I had the privilege of speaking with Giovanni and Freddie and was super impressed by them. They give me hope that we have wonderful young people for our future. As a parent, I just want to wrap my arms around them and all the youth we support to help improve their lives. And I hope you feel the same way. I hope you believe every child needs a fighting chance to get out of living in poverty. Well, tonight, now is your chance to help. Every penny counts. Please click on the donate button below or text 76278 and type give and then a space and the amount you wish to contribute. We are so close to exceeding our goal tonight. This is just a small portion of what we need to raise this year to make sure we can support the people in the best possible way. You have done the hard work and it's paying off. Our clients, they may not know who is lifting them up, but we know that it's because of kind people like you. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your generosity and believing that together we can make a big impact in our community. Thank you so much to Diane Solomon, Peter DeGier, Eva Schultz, Eddie Dowell. Thank you so much, Eddie. I know you. Higher Power Industries, you are awesome. The Zagarzoas, oh goodness gracious, it's more difficult than Candela Katz. The Tammy and Jay Levine Foundation, this is fabulous. Keep it going, everybody. We are going to keep the lines open for another 24 hours just to be sure you have time to continue spreading the word and getting other people to support the work that we're doing. So thank you so much again. And tomorrow we are going to be sending you an email with the update, and be sure to open it up because it's going to share with you the winners of our door prizes. Have a great evening, and back to George.
Wow, what an exciting evening. Thank you so much for your support. As Lauren said, we will keep the lines open for another 24 hours, but as you heard tonight, our needs are all year long, and I encourage you to keep in touch, get involved, keep learning how you can make a big impact in people's lives as we lift up Westchester. I want to give a special thanks to our honorees, Sal and Richie DeRico, Matt Darnell, and Kathleen Kiernan, Jim Ship, and Wells Fargo. Your generosity and humanity in allowing us to honor you by helping to tell the story of our mission is heartwarming and inspirational. We are also deeply grateful to all of our sponsors and our Westchester businesses. For those of you who made a donation, you will receive instructions soon. Enjoy. Lastly, I want to thank Anna Haida and her team for creating a truly inspirational program this evening. Back to you, Anna Haida.
As we wrap up this evening, I want to echo George's thanks to each of you, our honorees and our sponsors. I also want to leave you with a final thought. Sometimes it can seem like there is so much need out there, so many people needing support on so many levels, that we can never do or be enough. So many issues that are just too complex to solve. But what you heard from our staff, honorees, and clients tonight is that we can solve the problem of isolation. The antidote for isolation is community, and we are grateful to be a part of this community of engaged, compassionate people. You will see that we have just passed our goal, so thank you all very much. It's amazing. Please stay safe and well, and thank you for being here tonight and throughout the year.